If you are currently paying a professional to listen to you cry about your financial blocks, you need to cancel your next appointment immediately. You have been completely lied to. The spiritual community and the personal development industry have convinced you that you must go to therapy to fix your relationship with money. They have looked you right in the eyes and told you that you must spend years on a couch, digging through the toxic trash of your past, healing your wounded inner child, and clearing thousands of limiting beliefs before you can finally be allowed to manifest wealth. It is a massive, carefully designed psychological trap, engineered to keep you running on an exhausting hamster wheel as a permanent, paying patient. Today, using the profound teachings of Neville Goddard, I'm going to show you exactly why you must stop going to therapy for money and what you must do instead. Today, using the profound, unadulterated teachings of Neville Goddard, I'm going to give you the absolute truth that will completely shatter this illusion and change your financial reality in the next 10 seconds. Here is the ultimate reward for your attention today. You do not need to heal absolutely anything to get rich. Wealth is not a cosmic reward for good behavior, and it is certainly not a VIP club reserved only for psychologically perfect, enlightened people. Wealth is simply a mathematical state of consciousness, and you can completely assume it today, exactly with all the trauma, anxiety, and heavy baggage you currently carry. If you are finally ready to stop digging through the garbage of your past, if you are ready to burn your trauma journal and step into your absolute, undeniable power right now, take a brief moment to subscribe to this channel. Your exhausting era of being a professional victim ends today, and your era of absolute dominion begins right now. Let us deeply examine the absolute madness of the healing journey that you have been forced to participate in. You have probably bought the courses, read the self-help books, and spent countless hours meditating, trying to find the exact childhood memory that caused your financial block. You find a memory of your parents fighting over money, and you cry about it. You forgive them. You feel a temporary sense of relief, and you think to yourself, finally, I am healed. Now the money will come. But the money does not come. Instead, a week later, you feel anxious again. So you go back to the internet, and the fake manifestation gurus tell you that you must have another hidden layer of trauma. They tell you that healing is like peeling an onion. You peel one layer, you cry, and then you find another layer underneath it. Listen to me very carefully. Peeling an onion does not eventually lead you to a pot of gold. It just leaves you with burning eyes, empty hands, and a pile of garbage on the floor. This industry has convinced you that you are a broken machine that constantly needs fixing. And because the universe is a flawless, uncompromising mirror of your dominant identity, as long as you identify as a person who needs healing, the universe will mathematically guarantee that you always have something new to heal. It will send you more emotional triggers, more unexpected bills, and more pain, simply to validate your core assumption that you are a broken person. Let us perform a deep psychological autopsy on the entire concept of a limiting belief. You have been taught that if you have a negative thought about money, or if you feel a surge of financial panic, you must immediately catch that thought, analyze it, dissect it, and forcefully reprogram it. You have been told to sit in your room, open your journal, and write down all the reasons why you feel unworthy of wealth. This is the most destructive, dangerous advice you could ever receive. According to the supreme law of the universe, the law of assumption, whatever you give your focused attention to is immediately multiplied and hardened into your three-dimensional physical reality. When you spend 2 hours a day intensely focusing on your trauma of financial scarcity, you are not healing scarcity. You are actively giving mouth-to-mouth resuscitation to a dead ghost. You are taking a dead, powerless memory from the past, and you are violently forcing it back into the present tense by giving it your precious life force. You are pumping blood back into the veins of your poverty. A limiting belief only has power over you if you respect it enough to fight it. When you try to heal a shadow, you are acknowledging that the shadow is real and dangerous. You are validating its existence. The great mystic Neville Goddard warned us about this exact trap decades ago. He understood the mechanical nature of the mind far better than modern psychology. Neville said that trying to change the outside world or trying to fix the old conditions of your past is exactly like standing in front of a mirror and trying to comb the hair of your physical reflection. Imagine standing in front of your bathroom mirror, looking at your messy hair, and instead of brushing the hair on your actual head, you try to scrape the glass of the mirror with your brush. It is absolute comical insanity, but this is exactly what you are doing when you try to heal your financial trauma. The trauma is just an old reflection. It is a dead echo of a state of consciousness you used to occupy. You cannot negotiate with a reflection. You cannot bargain with an echo. And you absolutely cannot heal a mirror. The mirror only reflects who you are assuming to be in this exact present microsecond. When you identify as the wounded healer, the mirror shows you wounds. When you drop the brush, turn your back on the mirror and completely assume the identity of the wealthy owner. The mirror has absolutely no choice but to instantly rearrange the reflection to match the new king or queen standing in front of it. You have exhausted your physical and spiritual energy trying to become a better version of your old, broken self. But the secret to the law of assumption is not self-improvement. The secret is self-abandonment. You do not take a totaled, burning car to the mechanic and ask them to fix it while you are still sitting inside it. You open the door, you step out of the burning vehicle, and you get into a completely new, flawless, luxury car that is waiting for you. You must abandon the identity of the traumatized person entirely. You must realize that your past does not exist anywhere except in your own imagination. The bank account you had 10 years ago does not exist. The arguments your family had about money when you were a child do not exist. They are dead, powerless phantoms. The only reason they are still haunting your current bank account is because you keep inviting them into your living room for therapy sessions. You keep offering them tea and asking them how they feel. You must stop entertaining the ghosts of your past. You must stop treating your financial trauma as if it is a sacred, important part of your personality. It is not important. It is incredibly boring, and it is entirely irrelevant to your ability to manifest massive wealth right now. I want to give you the second massive reward of this masterclass right now. I'm going to give you the absolute, undeniable, physical proof that healing your trauma has absolutely nothing to do with accumulating massive amounts of wealth. I want you to look very closely at the real world. I want you to look at the billionaires, the ruthless Wall Street executives, the massive celebrity icons and the titans of global industry. Do you honestly believe that these individuals are perfectly healed, enlightened, Zen masters who have spent years doing shadow work and clearing their limiting beliefs? Absolutely not. If you look closely at the lives of the ultra-wealthy, you will find a landscape of massive psychological chaos. You will find executives who have terrible relationships with their parents. You will find billionaires who are on their fourth miserable divorce. You will find individuals with severe anxiety, massive ego problems, and deep, unhealed childhood wounds. They carry an unbelievable amount of emotional baggage. They are the exact opposite of the healed, peaceful, spiritual guru that the manifestation community tells you that you need to become. And yet, despite all of their trauma, despite all of their glaring psychological imperfections, they effortlessly manifest millions of dollars every single month. They attract massive business opportunities. They live in absolute financial abundance. How is this mathematically possible? If the spiritual gurus are telling the truth, if your trauma is actually blocking your money, then these chaotic billionaires should be completely broke. But they are not. They are rich because the universe does not care about your therapy records. The universe is not a moral judge, sitting in the clouds, carefully analyzing your psychological health to decide if you deserve a financial reward today. The universe is a blind, uncompromising, mechanical mirror. It only reflects the specific state of consciousness that you have assumed regarding a specific subject. The traumatized billionaire is incredibly wealthy because, despite whatever emotional trauma they have in their personal life, they have completely and utterly assumed the undeniable identity of financial dominance. They have separated their emotional wounds from their financial reality. They do not look at their bank account through the lens of their childhood trauma. When it comes to money, they operate from a state of absolute, arrogant certainty. They know they are owners. They know they are masters of capital. And the blind universe looks at that specific financial assumption, completely ignores their unhealed emotional baggage, and perfectly reflects millions of dollars into their physical reality. Meanwhile, look at the dedicated spiritual seeker. Look at the person who wakes up at 5 in the morning, drinks their green juice, meditates for an hour, writes in their gratitude journal, and spends half of their day crying over their inner child. They are trying so desperately to be a good, healed, pure person, They are doing everything the internet coaches told them to do, but when the first of the month arrives, they are terrified because they cannot pay their rent. Why is the healed person broke and the traumatized person rich? Because the spiritual seeker has assumed the identity of the eternal patient. They have made their entire personality about fixing their brokenness. They are vibrating on the frequency of needing to be repaired, and therefore, the universe perfectly reflects a reality where they constantly lack the resources they need, forcing them to continue their exhausting journey of self-improvement. You must realize this profound truth right now. Your trauma is not a disqualifier for wealth. Your anxiety does not cancel your ability to manifest millions. You do not need to be a perfectly healed, enlightened monk to drive a luxury car and live in a mansion. You simply need to assume the frequency of the owner, exactly as you are today, flaws and all. But I know exactly why you are still trapped in this exhausting cycle of healing, and this brings us to the most dangerous biological trap of the entire manifestation industry. We must talk about why constantly doing shadow work, digging into your past, and trying to heal your limiting beliefs is actually destroying your physical body and keeping you permanently broke. You have been taught that, to release a trauma, you must feel it deeply. You have been told to sit down, close your eyes, and vividly remember the times you felt poor, the times you were humiliated about money, and the times you felt financially unsafe. The gurus tell you that by feeling these terrible emotions, you are letting them go. This is a catastrophic misunderstanding of human biology. You must understand that your subconscious mind and your physical nervous system do not have a concept of time. Your primitive animal brain does not know the difference between a real physical threat happening in the room right now and a vivid memory of a threat from 20 years ago. When you intentionally sit down and force yourself to remember your financial trauma, your brain does not think you are doing a healthy spiritual exercise. Your amygdala, the fear center of your brain, instantly activates. It perceives a mortal threat to your survival. It immediately sends a massive, violent surge of cortisol and adrenaline straight into your bloodstream. Your heart rate aggressively spikes. Your breathing becomes shallow. Your digestive system completely shuts down to save energy for running away. Your physical body goes into a literal state of absolute terror. Your nervous system is simulating the experience of being hunted by a predator. You are intentionally traumatizing yourself all over again, under the disguise of spiritual healing. This biological exhaustion is the exact reason why you feel so incredibly tired, drained, and depressed after you do your manifestation and healing techniques. You are forcing your physical vessel to endure a chemical war zone every single day. And here is the ultimate tragedy. You are trying to manifest massive, abundant, peaceful wealth while your physical body is violently screaming that it is fighting for its life. The quantum field does not listen to your desire to be rich. It listens to the chaotic, terrified survival frequency of your nervous system. Wealth is a frequency of absolute safety and relaxation. Poverty is a frequency of danger and survival. By constantly picking at the scabs of your past, you are keeping your body locked in the frequency of danger, making it biologically and quantumly impossible for wealth to enter your reality. The money bounces off your energetic field because your field is entirely constructed out of panic. You cannot out-affirm a dysregulated nervous system. You cannot assume the identity of a relaxed multimillionaire if your physical body still believes it is a traumatized child starving in the wilderness. If you actually want to become a master of your reality and stop this endless cycle of suffering, you must bypass the endless psychological analysis and directly shut down the biological fire alarm in your body. Because this physical barrier is the exact place where the entire manifestation community fails, I refuse to let you figure it out alone. I have provided a vital, mechanical solution for you. I want you to look right below this video, in the pinned comment section. I have left a life-saving resource there for you. It is a highly specific, dedicated physical protocol designed entirely to regulate your nervous system and instantly flush the survival hormones out of your bloodstream. It ignores your complicated thoughts and goes straight to the biological hardware, completely deactivating your fight-or-flight response. You do not need 5 more years of expensive therapy. You just need to use this protocol to convince your cells that they are finally safe. When you regulate your nervous system, you instantly remove the biological friction that has been blocking your wealth. You finally create a quiet, physically secure environment where the new wealthy identity can take root without being attacked by your own body. Once your physical body is regulated, once the biological panic is silenced, and you are resting in a state of deep safety, you are completely ready for the third massive reward of this masterclass. You are ready for the ultimate technique. If healing your trauma is a trap, and if digging into your past keeps you broke, what is the this that you must do instead? What is the actual secret to instantly shifting your reality? The great mystic Neville Goddard gave us the exact answer, and he called it the profound death of the old man. You do not heal the old version of yourself. You completely let it die. Neville taught that you are a limitless, infinite consciousness that has the power to occupy any state of being in the quantum field. The traumatized, broke, anxious version of you is just one specific state, like a heavy, uncomfortable winter coat. You have been wearing this heavy coat for years, complaining about how hot and miserable you are. You have been going to therapy every single week, paying someone by the hour to help you slowly cut the threads of the coat, one by one, hoping it will eventually fall off. Neville Goddard said this is absolute foolishness. You do not need a therapist to take off a coat. You do not fix the coat. You simply take it off, drop it on the floor, and you walk away from it forever. You completely abandon the identity of the person who has financial trauma. You commit the ultimate act of psychological treason against your own past. You declare that the person who suffered, the person who lacked money, and the person who needed to be healed literally no longer exists. They are dead. And in their place, you instantly resurrect the new, undeniable identity of the wealthy master. How do you execute this death of the old man in your practical daily life? What do you do when a limiting belief suddenly pops into your head? What do you do when you open your bank account and you feel a familiar surge of old panic? The fake gurus tell you to write the fear down and analyze it, but the master does something entirely different. The master meets the limiting belief with absolute, cold, devastating apathy. When the old fear of poverty knocks on the door of your mind, you do not open the door and invite the fear inside for a cup of tea. You do not ask the fear where it came from. You look at the fear through the window. You recognize that it is just a ghost from a dead timeline, and you simply walk away from the door. You say to yourself, how amusing that this old thought is trying to get my attention. That is not me anymore. I do not know the person who used to think those thoughts. This absolute apathy is the most powerful weapon in the universe. Apathy starves the limiting belief of its life force. When you refuse to react, when you refuse to be triggered, and when you refuse to try and heal the thought simply disintegrates into nothingness. You must wear the new garment of your wealthy identity with unwavering arrogance. The wealthy version of you, the multi-millionaire version of you that exists right now in the quantum field, does not care about your childhood money blocks. They do not care about your old debts. They are completely unbothered by the concept of lack. You must assume their posture. You must breathe how they breathe, walk how they walk, and look at the physical world with their absolute indifference. You do not need to be fixed. You are not a renovation project. You are a completed masterpiece, perfectly capable of stepping onto the throne of your reality exactly as you are in this very second. Let us plunge directly into the profound quantum physics of your new reality. To truly execute the death of the old man and to permanently step off the exhausting treadmill of endless healing, you must completely understand the concept of parallel realities as Neville Goddard taught it. You must understand that creation is absolutely entirely finished. There is nothing left for you to invent. There is nothing left for you to build from scratch. Every single possible outcome, every conceivable scenario, and every imaginable version of your life already exists right now, perfectly formed, in the quantum field. The broke, terrified, deeply traumatized version of you who constantly cries over unpaid bills exists. But listen to me very carefully. The multi-millionaire version of you, the version who has absolutely no concept of financial anxiety, the version who never even thinks about childhood trauma because they are too busy enjoying their massive wealth, also exists simultaneously in this exact microsecond. You do not need to somehow fix the traumatized version of you so that it slowly transforms into the wealthy version over a period of 10 years. That is the great lie of the self-improvement industry. You do not transform. You simply relocate. Imagine that reality is exactly like an ancient radio with a physical dial. Right now, your consciousness is tuned to a frequency that we can call station, poverty, and trauma. On this specific radio station, the music playing is the sound of your childhood wounds. the sound of your limiting beliefs and the sound of your bank account constantly hitting zero. The self-help industry has told you that you need to open the radio, pull out the wires, and spend 20 years trying to force that specific station to play a different song. It is impossible. Station poverty will always play the music of poverty. If you want to hear the music of massive, careless, unbothered wealth, you do not fix the radio station. You simply reach out your hand, grasp the dial of your own consciousness, and you aggressively turn it to a completely different frequency. The exact moment you tune into the new millionaire station, the new music instantly begins to play, and the old music of your trauma completely ceases to exist in your reality. You did not heal the old song. You did not analyze the old song. You completely abandoned it, and you shifted your internal receiver to align with the reality that you actually desire to experience. This quantum leap, this instantaneous shifting of the dial, requires you to immediately adopt the psychological posture of your parallel millionaire self. How does the wealthy version of you operate in the physical world? The wealthy version of you does not sit in a circle on the floor crying about how hard life is. The wealthy version of you does not constantly scan their brain looking for negative thoughts to magically flip. They do not have time for that nonsense. If a negative thought accidentally crosses the mind of your millionaire self, they do not panic. They do not think, oh no, I just thought about a bill, my manifestation is ruined, I need to do shadow work. The millionaire version of you looks at a negative thought with absolute cold, devastating apathy. They treat a thought of poverty the same way you would treat a small, annoying insect buzzing near your window. You do not write a journal entry about the insect. You do not go to therapy to discover the childhood root cause of the insect. You completely ignore it, you look past it, and you continue to enjoy the magnificent view from your mansion. You must adopt this exact same arrogant apathy right now, today, in the middle of your current physical circumstances. When you wake up tomorrow morning, your logical brain is going to open your eyes, look around your bedroom, and it is going to try and convince you that nothing has changed. It is going to tell you that you are still the same broke, traumatized person you were yesterday. This is the ultimate defining test of the law of assumption. The three-dimensional physical world is always delayed. It is a slow, heavy, dense shadow that takes time to catch up to the speed of your new quantum identity. I want you to think about the physical world exactly like you think about a dead star in the night sky. When you look up at the stars at night, you're seeing light that took millions of years to travel to your eyes. The star that generated that light might have exploded and died 1,000,000 years ago, but you're still seeing its reflection today. Your current bank account, your current debts, and your current physical problems are nothing but the light of a dead star. They are the delayed physical echoes of the old, traumatized identity that you just killed. When you look at your empty bank account tomorrow, you must not react to it. If you panic, if you cry, and if you let the empty bank account convince you that you are still poor, you are breathing life back into the dead star. You are resurrecting the old man. You must look at the negative physical facts of your life with the amused, unbothered smirk of the master. You hold the unpaid bill in your hand, and you literally laugh at the physical illusion. You say to your own mind, "How fascinating that the three-dimensional world is still playing this old movie. How amusing that this dead star is still shining. But I know the truth. I am the operant power. I am the wealthy owner, and this physical shadow has absolutely no choice but to change and conform to my new command." When you refuse to be intimidated by the physical facts, when you hold your new internal identity with unbreakable, arrogant certainty, the old reality instantly collapses under the sheer weight of your apathy. The universe rushes in to rearrange the atoms of your life, bringing you massive sums of unexpected money, simply because you finally stopped trying to force it, and you finally stopped believing in the illusion of your own brokenness. You have arrived at the ultimate climax of this masterclass. I want you to take a deep, slow breath, and I want you to feel the massive, crushing weight of the personal development industry completely falling off your shoulders. For years, you have carried a heavy, invisible backpack filled with rocks. Every rock was a label that a guru or a therapist gave you: unworthy, traumatized, blocked, broken. You have dragged this heavy backpack up a mountain, exhausting yourself, believing that if you just suffered enough, if you just healed enough rocks, you would finally reach the top and the universe would hand you a bag of money. I am officially giving you the permission to take that backpack off, drop it on the ground, and walk away from it forever. You are completely, unconditionally absolved. You are totally liberated from the requirement to be perfect. You must realize that the universe is not a judge sitting on a throne, weighing your good deeds against your bad deeds. The universe is a mechanical engine of creation, and it operates exactly like the law of gravity. Gravity does not care if you are a good person or a bad person. Gravity does not care if you have a perfectly healed inner child, or if you are carrying massive amounts of childhood trauma. If a perfectly healed monk and a deeply traumatized, anxious person both step off the edge of a cliff, gravity will pull them both to the ground with the exact same mathematical force. The law of assumption works in the exact same cold, beautiful, mechanical way. The universe does not care about your past. It does not care about your limiting beliefs. It only responds to the identity you are boldly claiming right now. If you claim the identity of poverty, it will give you poverty, even if you are the kindest, most healed person on earth. But if you aggressively claim the identity of massive, unconditional wealth, it will give you millions of dollars. Even if you are still figuring out your emotional baggage, you do not need to be worthy of money. Money is just paper. It is a tool. You do not need to be spiritually worthy to use a hammer, and you do not need to be spiritually worthy to have $1 million in your checking account. We must completely destroy one final toxic lie that the spiritual community has used to keep you poor and waiting. We must destroy the heresy of divine timing. When your manifestation does not arrive, the fake gurus pat you on the back and tell you to be patient. They tell you that the universe has a divine plan and that your money will come in divine timing. This is the ultimate excuse for failure, and it strips you of all your power as the creator. The universe does not own a calendar. The universe does not wear a watch. The universe does not have a plan for your life because you are the only one writing the script. In the quantum field, there is no past and there is no future. There is only the eternal, infinite right now. When you say to yourself, "I will be wealthy when the universe decides the time is right," you are projecting your wealth into an imaginary future. And because the universe perfectly mirrors your current state, it will mirror your state of waiting. It will say you are absolutely right, you are waiting for wealth in the future. And it will give you a reality where you are constantly, perpetually waiting. Tomorrow never comes. You must violently drag your desire out of the future and force it into the present tense. You do not want to be rich. You are not going to be rich when the timing is right. You are undeniably, unapologetically rich in this exact present microsecond. You are the dictator of time. You tell the universe when the manifestation happens and the time is always right now. You are no longer a project under construction. You are no longer a wounded patient lying on a therapist's couch, paying by the hour to figure out why your bank account is empty. You are a completed masterpiece. You are the architect, the director, and the undisputed monarch of your physical reality. You have stepped out of the burning car of your past, and you are sitting on the throne of your present power. When the physical world tries to trigger your old trauma, you will not flinch. You will not analyze it. You will look at it with the cold, bored apathy of a billionaire who has better things to do. You will remember that the three-dimensional world is just a dead star, fading into nothingness as your new, wealthy identity takes absolute control of the simulation. If you have listened to this entire masterclass, your psychological hard drive has been completely reformatted. You can never unhear this truth. You can never go back to being the professional victim who blames their childhood for their empty bank account. You know too much now. You know that you are the sole operant power. But to permanently seal this new paradigm, to lock this new, unbothered, wealthy identity into the physical matrix of your reality, you must take one final, definitive action. You must leave a physical mark on the world that proves you have officially abandoned the old man. I want you to make a physical declaration right now. I want you to draw a permanent line in the sand between the exhausted patient you used to be and the wealthy master you are today. Scroll down to the comments section directly below this video and type these exact words to finalize your quantum leap. Do not type it with hope. Do not type it as a wish. Type it with the absolute cold arrogance of the creator who knows their own power. Type, "I am not broken. I am already wealthy." Let the physical movement of your fingers translating that law into the physical world be the final blow to your old reality. Let the algorithm of the universe see your absolute decree. I am not broken. I am already wealthy. The therapy session is over. The wait is finished. Go claim your kingdom.